Hi there everyone, this is the Innovative Traders and welcome to our channel. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to this channel, and for returning subscribers, thank you for retaining. I really appreciate the love. It really shows that you find this channel as a helpful tool towards your trading. So in this video guys, I'll be doing a market breakdown on AUD USD, NAS100 USD and US30, which is obviously Wall Street or Dow Jones Industrial. And please don't be surprised when I spend more time on one pair, as I'll be trying by all means to analyze with full detail so that you can get to have a neutral approach or mindset towards this instrument. So without wasting any further time, let us take a look at AUD USD as our first pair. Remember, whenever analyzing the market, as I've said on the previous videos, you have to use 4 key points. The first point is direction. You have to know your direction. The second point, you have to know significant levels. The third point, you have to know your phase identification of the current market structure. The fourth point, you have to identify the pattern that you're seeing. So basically meaning, if you're seeing an impulse phase on the current market price, you have to wait for price to exhaust in order for you to start looking for opportunities on that specific pair. If you're seeing an exhaustion phase on price, that is when you can now jump into identifying that type of a structure you're seeing as an exhaustion, which is obviously pattern identification as our last point. So now let us take a look at AUD/USD on the weekly time frame. If you can check from the past, AUD/USD was moving slightly towards the upside, indicating a bullish momentum, which is an uptrend, a buying trend. And from this point here, price reversed and started to move towards the downside, indicating a downward trend. How do you confirm that this is a downward trend? We have to see price giving us sequences of lower lows and lower highs, as I've said on the previous video on trade identification. If you haven't watched it, you can pause this one, go back to it just to get the idea on how to identify your trends. So now, starting from this point, we have a high. From this point here, we have a low, we have a high, we have a low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We're anticipating a lower low. The reason why this is a lower high is because of it failed to break the previous lower high. How do we see that? Taking a rail line tool just to measure the level, you can see that price failed to reach that level. It failed to break it. That basically means that a downward trend, it's still continuing towards downside. Basically mean that we are still continuing with our bearish momentum. So now let us cater for our outer structure as a guidance. Our outer structure is this one here for accuracy. Our outer structure, the bottom part is this one. You're catering for our lower lows. These are our swing lows. These are our swing lower highs. I meant to say our swing highs basically is our swing lows. So this is our lower high zone, and these are our lower low zones. So now, since we know the outer structure, the first point you take it down. The market on this pair, AUD/USD is a down trend. It's a bearish momentum. You tick it on your trading checklist. Now you go into the second point, which is significant levels, which is on a daily time frame. Going to the daily time frame, you have to identify your key significant levels, which are your highest high and lowest low of the day. If you can check, I didn't cater for this touch because of, remember, the trend lines are there to give us guide. The market isn't perfect. They are there to give us the idea of what is going on. You don't have to depend on a trend line basically. It's just there as a guide into understanding and spotting structure or the nature of the market basically. So from this previous structure here, if you can check price after giving us a lower low, remember this is a lower low from the higher time frame, right? This is a low from the time frame. After price giving us this lower low, it went back up in a bullish momentum. This is an uptrend in a bullish momentum. How do we see that? It went up, gave us a high, a low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. It gave us a higher high. It came back down, double bottom. It failed to break the previous higher high, giving us a peak basically. Then it dropped. It break this high. It dropped, started giving us a sequence of lower lows and lower highs. So now How do we see the trend? This mini bullish trend, which is a counter trend to the overall downtrend. How do we see that this trend has ended? If you can check the top part here, I'm seeing a head and shoulders pattern. Head and shoulders pattern. Head and shoulders pattern. This is basically the neckline of the pattern. Head and shoulders. Price has broken the neckline. It came back towards the neckline as a retest into actually start continuing to shoot towards the downside. So that's how we spotted that the trend, which is a counter trend to the downtrend, is basically ending. We saw that by price failing to break the previous higher high. Price failed to break the previous higher highs. It gave us, instead of breaking, it gave us what? A lower high, which is a peak. Then it broke towards the downside, so giving us what? A head and shoulders as a reversal pattern. Now it's coming back as a retest to continue going towards the downside. So that's how we spotted how this trend has ended. That is coming to an end, I mean to say. So now let's identify our key significant levels, which is our highest high, our lowest low, basically, and where the market is currently is. It's an important level, and also this level here. This level here. Reason being, we are having an uptrend. Identifying your significant levels, you have to mark your previous level. Okay, let's say price is dropping. It's like that. Okay, let me remove this. Let's say you're having a trend. Okay, it's somewhere around here. So basically an uptrend is confirmed since we had a low, a high, a low, and we broke this previous high, giving us what? A new all-time higher high. What I was anticipating a higher low. So expecting price not to break this level. So what is that we do? We mark our lowest low, which is this one. We mark our highest high. Then we mark our previous low. Reason being, we know that until price break this level, we're still looking for what? For buying opportunities. If we're seeing selling opportunities, you have to make your overall target this level, because of we haven't broken this level as yet on the higher time frame or on the bigger structure. So this level is there to go. Until I break this level, I'm still looking for buying opportunities. So that is why I've marked this level here. That is why I've marked this level. Okay, let me change the color and write it key level. This level, it's a swing low before this one. That's why I'm marking it. Price can still reverse from here and continue towards the upside. So until we break this level, we're still looking for buying opportunities. But if we are selling opportunities, we have to put this as our first target. Paying attention to how price will react around these areas. I hope that makes sense. So now, since we have identified our key levels, let us dive into the 4-hour time frame to get what we call phase identification. 4-hour time frame. If you can check the 4-hour time frame, we have this structure. Okay, from this point here, this is a high. Price drop, gave us low. It came back up. It failed to break that one. It gave us what? A lower high. It's a lower high because of it's lower than the previous high. After that, it broke this one, giving us what? A new lower low. It went back up. It failed to break that one. It gave us a lower high. So it's a high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, then lower high. It failed to break. It came back to test this high again. So basically in this case, the major one is this one here. The major one is this one. For this current price, until we break this level, we're still looking for what? Selling opportunities, since price is moving in a downward trend. You can put a trend line as a guide in a downward trend, basically. In a downward trend. So whenever you're putting a key significant levels, you have to mark your previous swing high and swing low. This is our swing high, and this is our swing high, by the way. That's why I've marked it. If price breaks it, I will then know that price starting to give me what? Buying opportunities. That implies if price breaks impulsively and give me that bullish continuation to confirm our buying opportunities. Do you understand? So this trend line is there as a guideline that until I break this trend line in an impulsive manner, I'm still looking for what? Selling opportunities, since you are still contained inside a downward trend, which is a bearish trend, a sell trend, by the way. Now let's identify our phases. If you can check, this is an impulse. Let me remove this impulse. We have this correction, we have an impulse, then we started to trickle back up here, giving us a larger impulse. So basically this is, let me do this. We had an impulse. Okay, after an impulse we had this correction, this corrective structure, which is a continuation. We had another impulse, a strong one. Then price gave us this phase, which is a correction phase. Now we know our phase is a correction phase. Now we have to understand what type of a correction is it. Is it giving us a sign of a reversal pattern or a continuation pattern? Remember, I said this is an impulse, correction, impulse down, correction, as a form of giving us what? A new higher low to actually shoot towards the downside. A new higher low. Remember, price is moving in a sequence of lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. What are we anticipating next? A lower low, because we are still contained inside a bearish channel. We are looking for selling opportunities. We are looking for selling opportunities. So currently, this is what we are seeing. We are seeing this structure here. What kind of a structure is this? This is basically a bearish continuation flag. A bearish continuation flag. A bearish continuation flag. And if you can check, it has already given us a solid confirmation that this is actually a strong level by these multiple touches. I don't usually count these touches because of, for me to count a touch, it has to touch, for example, it has to touch a trend line, push away. That's when I can start to count it as a touch. Then come back, touch it, push away, come back, touch it, push away. That's when I can start it to count it as 1, 2, 3. It has to impulse away from where it was before. Unlike price doing this, coming back to touch, then start to do this. I don't usually count this as 1, 2, 3. Until it impulse away, I'll count this section as a single touch, basically. Then I'll then, like, how can I put it? For me to count, basically, for me to count price as a touch at that current level, it has to touch an impulse away. That's how I can put it, basically, in simple terms. So we have our first touches here, second touches, third touches, confirming a solid level of structure. So we are now in a bearish continuation flag. And if you can check this part here, you can take this as the reason why I call it a flag. This is like a pole. After an impulse, we're expecting a correction. After a correction, we're expecting a drop. Why did I mark this level here? I didn't explain it. Why did I mark this level here? Reason I marked it, that is where we usually take our first take profit. Because of this is the 90%, this is what we call the 90% rule, basically. 90% rule basically says that price has 90% chances of probability, of reaching the level at which the structure is began, basically the beginning of the correction. That's why we're calling it 90% rule. So now, this is basically our first take profit level. That's why I've marked it there. Our first take profit level. So remember, our phase in this current moment is a correction. What kind of a correction? A bearish flag continuation. So what are we looking for? Selling opportunities. Why? We are contained inside a bearish channel on a daily time frame. From the daily time frame, we are contained in a bearish channel. 4 hours saying continuation pattern. What kind of a continuation pattern? A bearish continuation. Daily and weekly, what are they saying to us? They're telling us that we're having what? A bearish momentum. Daily bearish momentum. So that whenever when you're taking down your points, you can see that everything is starting to add more confluence into telling us to look for selling opportunities, basically. So now our phase is a bearish flag. What are we looking for? Selling opportunities, basically. So now, what is that we have to look for now is our entry level to the on the 1 hour time frame. When you get there, paying attention to what price is doing, how price approach this level. It went there in a corrective manner. This was also a bullish channel, if you can check. A bullish channel. Some call it an ascending channel. It's a bullish channel, basically. So it has approached this level in a bullish channel. It's very corrective because it is losing momentum. It's losing momentum, indicating for us that soon sellers will be out of the market and buyers will start to dominate the market, basically. So now, how are we going to how are we going to find our first entry? Judging from this point, if you can check prices after touching this level, it impulsed away, gave us our first correction. So now for entry, a safe entry, I can say, a safe entry, you have to enter after the break of this channel here, since price has respected this channel a lot of times. So it has to be broken in order for you to start looking for buy selling opportunities. Because if you can take it on the inside of the channel, okay, let me take this back. If you saw it before it got there, for example, let's say it was here before. Let's say it was here before. Then you saw maybe some sort of a double top from here. Then you took a higher risk entry here. Then a stop loss of 19 pips and targeting the lows. That will still be right, but then you have to put in mind that, okay, since I took this entry inside the channel, price has a lot of chances of coming back here and respecting this channel and actually shoot back up to test the highs again before it can actually shoot towards the downside. You understand? So for a safe entry, I have to take the entry outside this channel. For a safe entry, what is it that I would like to see? Currently, I'm seeing that the price is trying to give me a hover entry. So if price can just do this, give me that a flat continuation flag, then push down, give me another continuation flag outside the channel, that is when I'll start to look for my entries. So basically, the first entry can be this one. We have a flag here, obviously, and we have this. The first entry can be a hover entry, just below here, few pips below here. Your stop loss above this high. Yeah, 30 pips reasonable. Above this high, then your target is being 90% of this correction. So you have to wait for price to give you that. You only take the price. How can I put it? Okay, let me do this. Let me write this. Let me write this trend line here. This trend line. Only take your entries below this trend line. If price breaks impulsively, not correctively, you have to pay attention to how price is breaking that level. Let us mark this as a neckline, basically. A neckline. You only take an entry at the break of this neckline. And a stop loss above this high. That is when you can start to take your entries. Don't take your entries within this channel because of price can reverse from here and push towards the upside. And now you have to pay attention to how price breaks. This level here. This level. How price breaks this level. If it can break this level, in this manner, don't take that trade. Don't take it, because of it can still push back inside. You understand? So it's all a matter of like reading between the lines. You have to like pay attention to what price is doing. The only time you can take it is if price can hover around this area, then break and close impulsively below this neckline. And what is an impulsive close? Obviously something like this, something like let's take this candle here, something like this. Okay, let me do this. An impulsive break, since this one looks like a similar structure. This is actually an impulsive break. After this happens, that's when you can start to set your orders. But then if price moves out around these areas in a corrective manner, don't take that entry, because of it might go back towards the upside. And if you are afraid to take this entry, you can still wait for more entries. Like, remember, the market always presents more entries in one impulse leg. So if you can miss this one, wait for another correction, then take it. If you miss this one, still wait for another correction that is going to happen. You're probably going to get about like 3 entries on this impulse leg up until this point here. So it's a matter of like paying attention to how price breaks these levels. Remember, I said for an entry level, you have to take it below the neckline. Wait for price to break and close impulsively below this neckline here, because of this is where we know that price every time when price gets here, it goes back up. But then if price breaks impulsively and close below this level, then now we know that our sell signal has been confirmed. We can now start to enter our selling opportunities, putting our stop loss inside this channel. Do you understand? So that's it for you. AUD USD, we are looking for what? Selling opportunities. Going to the higher time frame again, just to bring back, okay, let me go to the 4 hour, just to bring back that idea of why we are looking for selling opportunities. Where do we come from? Downward channel. How did you end up in this downward channel? A head and shoulders ended the previous uptrend on the daily. A head and shoulders pattern. This is a head and shoulders pattern, by the way. Where is price at? Price is currently at the neckline of the head and shoulders. At the neckline of the head and shoulders. Yes, price can still come back to test this. If that implies, if price wants to give us that picture perfect setup, it can still come to these areas here, to these areas, then drop towards the downside. But then currently price is at the neckline of the head and shoulders as a retest. How did it get there? It got there structurally. How do we see that? This is our impulse, this is our correction. How many targets do we have? Multi-touch confirmation. First touch, second touch, third touch, we're actually going towards the downside. So this is actually a clean setup for selling opportunities. Start looking for selling opportunities on this during this week. I'm not saying when the market opens, enter yourselves. Now I'm saying look for selling opportunities. Look for an entry. Let the market come to you. Don't dictate it. Let the market come to you. You'll only enter if price present a sell confirmation, the final sell confirmation, which is our entry type. Do you understand? So that's what we're seeing for AUD/USD. We are looking for selling opportunities. Higher time frames, downtrend, daily, downtrend, we form a lower high. On the 4 hour, we're currently in a corrective phase, trapped inside a bearish channel. What kind of a correction phase is that? We'll go to the 4 point, this is a pattern identification. What kind of a correction phase is that? Is basically a bearish continuation flag. A bearish continuation flag usually shoots towards the downside. Where are we? We're currently at a dead touch of the structural approach towards the neckline of the reversal pattern on the higher time frame. So there's a lot of evidence giving you that confidence of you to start looking for what? Selling opportunities more than buying opportunities. You understand? The only time this can be invalidated is if price can break from this one. If price can break impulsively and consolidate, giving us a bullish flag, that is when you can know that, okay, now this is changing into what? A buying structure, basically. You understand? is changing into a buying structure, catering for the lower part, obviously, catering for the lower part into a buying structure. But then based on how price is moving, the nature of the market currently is showing us selling opportunities. So that is our major priority currently. So now that's it for AUDUSD. We're looking for selling opportunities. Let us now take a look at an indice. Let us take a look at an indice, which is US30. It's Wall Street basically. For US30 and NAS100, I usually use the 4-hour time frames. Reason being, on the daily time frame and weekly, they are not that much clear, since they are the bullish markets. Like I said previously, that indices are basically a presentation of companies. So companies are always dealing with profits, and they're always looking forward to improve their performances, since they're dealing with profits. So now for US30, if you can check at the current moment, price is sitting at this channel. Okay, price is at this. Price is giving us this ascending type of channel. It's ascending towards the upside. You can also refer it as a bullish channel. Why? Because it has a sequence: a low, a high, a low, a high, a low. We're anticipating a new all-time high before a lower low. So this is basically a bullish channel, by the way, a bullish channel or an ascending channel. Okay? We have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, we have a higher high, higher low. We are anticipating a higher high to push towards the downside. So that is basically the momentum of US30 basically. If you can go to the daily, just to give you clarity, US30, it's a bullish market, since it represents a company. It's a bullish market. As you can see, it's been moving towards the upside ever since it was published. It has been a bearish market, a bullish market. It only drops if those 30 companies are doing bad for that specific period of time. So indices presents companies. Companies are always dealing with profits. So now if you can check, currently we have this. We are doing the same procedure, but in this case we're doing them on small time frames. What you're doing on the weekly, on currencies, you're doing it here on the 4-hour. Then what you're doing on the daily, you're doing it here also on the 4-hour. Then what you're doing on the 4-hour on the currencies, you're doing it here also on the 1 hour, 30 minutes and 15 minutes. So currently we're in a bullish structure. How do you see that? We have a low, a high low, a higher high, a higher low. We are currently approaching a higher high before we can start giving dropping towards a new higher low. That's how the market moves. Basically, this is an uptrend or a bullish channel or an ascending type of channel. That's how you can refer to it. So now let us mark our key significant levels, which is our lowest low. It's this one here. Going for recent touches, this is our lowest low. Our highest high at this point, I really cannot mark this point here, because that's where the market is currently is. Okay, so our highest high, it was this one here before. It was this one here. Now these are our key significant levels. After doing this, we dive into the 1-hour time frame to check the phase of the market currently, on the 1 hour. So now, taking a look at this, US30 still has to push towards this level. That is, if that implies if US30 still has that enough trend to push towards the upside before it can start giving us our overall sales. So basically, we are looking forward a selling bias on US30, because of we are currently approaching a new all-time high, which is our highest high. After a higher high, we are anticipating a higher low. So now let us identify the phase of US30 currently. If you can check, before it was moving in a bearish buys, in a bearish buys. After bearish buys, from this point, it started moving towards the upside in a bullish buys, basically. So now the market is currently in what? In a bullish market, inside the bullish market. How do we see that? Remember, I said we're approaching indices differently because we're dealing with what? With trends. We have that, the bottom part, we have this one here, which is a bullish channel. But then it is now playing around our previous higher high. Now we have to pay attention at how price is breaking that level. Remember, from this point, we are waiting for US30 to give us selling opportunities since it is approaching what? Our new higher high. We are starting to look for selling opportunities. So this is an ascending type of channel. This is currently our phase. It's ascending towards our highest high. That is the phase of the market. It's ascending towards the highest high in what? A bullish channel. After a higher high, we are expecting what? A lower low. And if you can check from this low, we had a high, we had a low. I mean to say we had a high, we had a low, a high, a low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price hasn't given us any swing higher low. So basically that is what we are looking forward for this price to present to us. What? A new higher low. That is why I'm saying we're looking forward for selling opportunities around these areas, Why? Price is currently on a higher high zone. It's on a higher high zone. It's basically expensive. It's on a higher high zone. So on the 1 hour, we have this structure, which is ascending, which is a bullish channel, and price is currently sitting what? At a higher high. We are looking for what? For a higher low. Let us dive into a 15 minutes time frame to look for an entry. On indices, guys, indices are very much straightforward. You don't have to you don't approach indices like currencies. They are very different. You are dealing mainly with trends and few patterns. So we are having this. Okay, let us remove this one so that we can see what is happening currently. If you can check, this is an ascending type of channel. How do we see that? It impulsed up, started to consolidate. This is basically a reversal channel. Remember, I said indices respect head and shoulders, double bottom, and M formations. They respect rising and falling channels. If you can check, this is a rising channel, by the way. How do we see that? It impulsed up. Starting to correct towards the upside. It's heading towards our new all-time high, and it's losing momentum, showing us that soon I'll be breaking towards the downside. Unlike this is basically a reversal pattern, by the way, because it's an ascending channel. It's losing momentum. Price no longer moving in impulsive correction, but it's moving in impulse correction. Now it's correcting towards the upside, starting to lose momentum. No longer impulsive. That's how we identify that price will soon shoot towards the downside. So currently, US30 is moving in an ascending type of channel. So now, and remember, this is a low. This is our previous high, by the way. This is our previous high. Higher high. How is price breaking our previous high? Correctively, not impulsively. So that is another sign of showing us that we are anticipating what? Selling opportunities. If price were to break our previous high impulsively, then correct above it in this manner, we will now know that we are looking for what? Buying opportunities. But then if price impulses up to the upside, start to give us a rising channel, we will know that price will soon break back towards the downside. Reason being, this is basically a portion of catching people on the wrong side of the market. So it's about how did we break that level? We broke that level impulsively or correctively? No, we broke it in a corrective manner. This is how we're breaking in a corrective manner. So what is that we're waiting for? I'm currently waiting for US30 to present to me a dead touch on this level to start looking for what? Selling opportunities. So basically on US30 we're looking for what? Selling opportunities. from this level. Reason why from this level is very high probable because of like it's at its highest high. It's expensive. So when price is expensive, they usually fall. In order for you to take an entry from this level, in case price doesn't reach this part here, in case price doesn't, you have to wait for a solid impulse down, a continuation pattern for price to shoot towards the downside, basically. So you have this as a second scenario, and price to come back here, go back down, consolidate in this manner, maybe give you another ascending channel, ascending. If you miss this at the break, you can still catch an impulse down correction. If you miss it, you can still catch another impulse break of the channel correction. So it's all a matter of waiting. You'll start looking for your opportunities on this area here, this area, and this area. So basically on US30, you're looking for what? Selling opportunities, since price has presented to us what? A new all-time high. After an all-time high, we're looking for what? A lower low. After a lower low, we're looking for what? The higher high. This is an uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. After higher high, we want a higher low. After high low, a higher high. Same applies for a downtrend. After a lower low, we want a lower high. After a lower high, we want a lower low. So we're basically waiting for price to either drop from here or push towards the upside, then drop. US30, we're looking for selling opportunities around these areas, respecting this channel, basically. Respecting this channel. This is an ascending channel. This is an ascending within an ascending, breaking the high to catch people on the side of the market, and also trying to test the high to give us that picture perfect. In case it gives us that picture perfect touch on the trend line, that will be a bonus to us. So now price is breaking correctively. You cannot look for buying opportunities. We're looking for selling opportunities because of break has broken the structure correctively and in an ascending manner. So we're looking for what? Selling opportunities. If price were to break this structure, okay, let me take this back. If it were to break this in this manner, let's take it to here. If it were to break in this manner, let's remove this. For a buy scenario, if it were to break the high impulsively, then correct in this manner, solid continuation, that when you can start to look for buying opportunities. But then price is breaking in a corrective manner, basically meaning that we are catching people on the wrong side of the market. You don't have to rush, you have to be patient. Wait for the market to come to you. Analyze to find the setup. So now the market is ascending. Ascending. This is basically an ascending within an ascending, and it's currently in a sell zone. This area here, it's in a sell zone. It has broken the previous high. This is our new all-time high. After a new all-time high, what are we expecting? A low. In this case, an uptrend. This is a higher high. We're expecting what? A higher low around these areas. So we're looking for what? Selling opportunities for US30 up until this level, possibly up until this level. But keeping it simple, we'll target this level here, since indices don't sell for a long time. But then we're looking for what? Selling opportunities on US30. Now let us dive into NAS100 USD. I think I'm done with US30. Higher time frame, uptrend, ascending. Price is currently at a new all-time high. What are we anticipating after all-time high? We're anticipating a low. After a high, we're anticipating a low. After a low, we're anticipating a high. And if you can check how price is closed here at this level, it has closed below, I can say in a pin bar, basically pin bar. But then in order for you to take a safe entry, rather wait for an impulse break outside here, a continuation here. That's when you can start to look for a reduced risk entry. If price doesn't do this and start to trigger its way up to this level, you still wait for that impulse down continuation, then take it. It's all about waiting. It's all about waiting. But for now, for US30, we're looking for what selling opportunities. The reason being, we have reached our new all-time high. After a high, you're anticipating a low. That's how the market, that's why a bullish market moves. That's why the trend moves. After a higher high, we want a higher low. For a downtrend, after a lower low, we want a lower high. So this is like, it's basic. Higher high, high low, higher high, high low. Higher high, we want a higher low. So we're going to catch ourselves from this level up until this level. Do you understand? So that's it for US30. Let us dive into NAS100 USD. NAS100 USD. Remember, they are both indices. They respect buys more than sells. That is why we don't really approach them. That's why we approach them differently from the currencies. So let us take a look at NAS100 USD. NAS100 USD has been on an uptrend also. I go to a day so you can see it. Has been on an uptrend ever since it was published. It only crashes for a short period of time. Since companies do bet for a short period of time, then they bounce back quickly to improve their performance. So basically, NAS100 is on what? It's on an uptrend. It's on an uptrend. We are looking to hold buys more than sellers. It's on an uptrend. This is an uptrend. How do we see that? Okay, let me draw this accurately. How do we see that it's an uptrend? A high, a low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We are anticipating what? A new all-time high. Currently, Nasdaq is heading towards a new all-time high, I mean to say, because it's from what? A swing low. So now, since we know the direction is to the upside, we're looking for buying opportunities more than selling opportunities. If you're seeing a sell on indices, it's basically a counter trend move. It's a counter trend move. You're not going to hold it for a long time. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame to check what is currently happening on NAS100 USD. NAS100 USD. Okay, if you can check at this current moment, you have to identify our key significant levels, which is our highest high at this moment and our lowest low at this moment. NAS100 is from what? A swing low. It's currently heading for a new all-time high. But then let us check how price was moving before it got to a point where it started to going up. If you can check, NAS100 was moving in a bearish momentum towards the downside. A bearish momentum towards the downside. From this point, it gave us a double bottom. Double bottom started to giving us what? A sequence of higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. Remember, at first we had something like this. I said, let's go to the 1-hour time frame. I said that we are looking for selling opportunities from this point. Let's take this price back. If you can check the previous videos, price was still here. Price was still around these areas. We were looking for selling opportunities because of this channel here. Because of this channel, I remember it was somewhere like here. It was here. So we are looking for Nasdaq to sell from this point to here so that you can catch our buy. So remember I said, don't sell Nasdaq around these areas if you are at a beginner level. You can only sell it if you are at an advanced level. That's if it presents a selling opportunity for you. Remember? So the reason why I was looking for selling opportunities from this point is that we were still contained in a downtrend, and we approached this level in a ascending manner. How do you see that? This was an impulse. This was a correction to push towards the downside. So we're looking for selling opportunities first before Nasdaq can actually buy from these areas towards the upside. So I said that wait for NAS100 to come to this area. You can only look to buy Nasdaq around this area. And if this doesn't happen, wait for Nasdaq to push out of this channel, to give you a solid continuation. That is when you can start to look forward buying opportunities towards the upside up until this level here. Up until this level. So Nasdaq didn't really come to these areas since it has more buying opportunities than selling opportunities. So now currently this is what we are having at this moment. This is what I said you must wait for if price doesn't come to these areas. This is an impulse, correction impulse. This is basically a healthy trend, by the way. This portion here, it's a healthy trend. That's why it never came back to these areas here. So now, checking how price is currently running at this moment, we are at a correction phase. How do you see? This is an impulse, this is a correction phase. This is basically an expanding type of channel. We are looking for buying opportunities on NAS100 USD. Yes, they correlate with US30, but then you have to trade what you see. You understand? What is nature telling you? If this is telling you to buy, you have to do as it tells you. So now for NAS100, they're looking for selling opportunities. I mean, for buying opportunities in this area, because of what? You're having what? An impulse correction. We're expecting what? An impulse to the upside. Up until this area as being our first target, until NAS100 breaks. Remember, NAS100 hasn't given us yet our new all-time high. This is our previous higher high. We're from what? A previous swing low. So you want Nasdaq to break this high to give us a new all-time high before it can start to drop again to the downside. So currently Nasdaq is giving us what? An expanding type of a channel from an impulse to the downside. This is an impulse. This is basically an impulse correction. We're expecting what? An impulse. And it's a trend. How do we see that? Let's remove this here. How do we see that? When it comes to selling opportunities on Nasdaq, it's very tricky because of they never complete their setups. That is why I encourage a lot of people to start looking for what? Buying opportunities more than selling opportunities. Only take a sell if Nasdaq is at a swing high. It's at a swing high. So this is basically a low, a high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is our high low, anticipating what? A new higher high. So now from here, you're looking for what? The buying opportunities, taking this impulse leg as our first take profit to these areas, and our second take profit being somewhere around there. So now for NAS100, they're looking for buying opportunities, but since tomorrow is Monday, we have to mark this level here as a reference. Reason being, there might be a stop loss hand. Nasdaq has it likes to, for example, if a pattern is away, let me give you a quick tip. If a pattern is away from a level, for example, if it breaks a level, then it consolidates from this level. Come the New York Bell session, the New York session, during the New York Bell 3:30, price has chances of coming back down, wiping off those who placed their orders here. That's how I've noticed about it. Wiping off those buy stops here. It can come back down to grab enough momentum to push back up and start to respect your setup. So basically, if tomorrow, since it's Monday, if tomorrow you place an order and it is not triggered by 3:30, you have to close your order and wait for the news to pass, because if they can affect your setup. That's what I've noticed about Nasdaq. If it creates a pattern above a zone, when I'm saying zone, I'm referring to a previous high. Basically, this is a previous high. Because remember, I mark on previous high and previous lows. I mark this level and this one. So Nasdaq likes to shoot down, stop loss hand, come back up, consolidate inside the pattern, then continue towards the direction. Usually, if a pattern is very far away from a level, that's how Nasdaq usually likes to do that. So in case it does that, let's make a room for that. In case you want an entry for this one, I'm looking for buying opportunities from this level, right? From this level here. So now let's dive into the 15 minutes to check what price is saying currently. If you can check right now, price drop down impulsively. Now it's corrective. It can still drop towards the downside, maybe around this area, then to push back up. How do you measure that? You take take a trend line, measure the impulse leg, put it from here to here. So expect the stop loss hunt, since the pattern is very far away from the key level. It's above a key level, it's not near key level, so expect a stop loss hunt. And since it's Monday tomorrow, you understand? So, but technically, if price can consolidate in this manner, you can take it at the break of this, because of this will give us what? A double bottom. You can start take your entry around this area, taking it towards the upside. But if you place your order somewhere around this area and it is not triggered around 3:30, please be careful. You might get stopped out, because of NAS100 has a lot of stop hunts when it comes to the New York Bell session, especially if a pattern is very far away from the channel or a zone. It might take you out. So Nasdaq, you're looking for buying opportunities. US30, you're looking for selling opportunities. So that's it for this video. Let me take a look at something. Maybe I can find what I'm actually talking about on NAS100. It usually drops before it can respect your setup. I remember taking one time. It took me out, then it went into my direction. It has a lot of stop hunts when it comes to the New York Bell. I don't know why. I don't trade the after, by the way. I've just noticed that during that time, Nasdaq takes you out before you can respect your pattern. Okay, take a look at this one here. Let's take a look at this one. An example. Just remember the exact date of that one. An example. Take a look at this. This is basically an impulse correction. A nice clean flag. You'll obviously want to take it at the break of this pattern, okay? Let's cater for accuracy. You'll want to take it at the break of this pattern, obviously, right? But then, come 3:30, this is what happens. Okay, let me play this faster. This is what happens. It drops. The reason why it drops, it wants to test the previous high before it can respect the pattern. So Nasdaq usually, during those times, it usually drops before it can respect your pattern. Almost all the time. Then after that, respect your pattern. It goes into a direction after it has taken you out. So it has stop loss, and you have to be careful of that. If the pattern is far away from a zone or a level, at least to wait for 3 to pass. If you don't trade those fundamental stuff. So it takes you out after it can respect your setup. That is it. Let's take a look at this one. Another example. It does this most of the time. It gives you a pattern, then it drops. If it takes you accidentally, then it's going to be a problem. Okay, in this case, we're having this channel. This is a pattern, obviously. This is a pattern. You take it at the break, obviously stop loss below. Let's see what happens. You see what happens. It dropped below here. If you were triggered by this week before, it's gonna take you out. So you have to pay cautious when it comes to those times. When it gets to that time, pay attention. Nasdaq likes to, let me draw it again. Nasdaq likes to do this. I saw this mainly on NAS100 USD. It takes you out, then it goes into the direction. Especially if the pattern is very far away from a key level. You're having an uptrend. You mark your key level. It breaks a level. It gives you a consolidation around these areas. Then obviously you're expecting to take this at the break of this. Come 3:30, it will drop back down, come back up, then shoot towards the direction. That's what it does most of the time. So be careful of that. The pattern that you're seeing right now there, hence I'm saying you should be careful. If I'm actually trying to put your mind into neutral state. If that happens, don't panic. You know that the direction is still valid, but just that Nasdaq likes to take people out. So be careful of this zone here, because remember, it never came back to retest the trend line. You understand? And it never came back to give us a solid, strong low swing low. It never came to give us a low around this level. This this trend is still valid. It never came around this year. It never gave us that a little bit of a strong push towards the downside. It just went up, shot up, it shot up impulsively, short correction, impulsively, short correction. It never retraced like that solid retrace. I think you get me when I'm saying that. It never gave us that solid retrace. So make a room for that one. Nasdaq buying opportunities, US30 buy selling opportunities, but it's not for a long-term run. It's for a short term, since we're approaching high. You understand? For Nasdaq buying opportunities, after hitting a high, it might reverse or it might break towards the upside. Sometimes they correlate, sometimes they don't. So we trade what we see and not what we think. So that's it for the video, guys. AUD USD, you're looking for selling opportunities. US30, you're looking for selling opportunities. NAS100 USD, we're looking for buying opportunities, but with cautious. Be careful of stop hunts. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you caught a thing or two from it. I really hope you have a productive week ahead. And yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you for everyone that is subscribed to this video, to this channel. I really appreciate the love and support. And if you're new, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and also share to others so they can get to gain what we're actually experiencing on this channel. So nonetheless, guys, innovative traders, we're out.